the story episode's up now as well. So anyone who's tuning in now in the future, new story episode's up. So that's the 4th one in the series, isn't it?
Numero 4.
Numero 4, into the demon's realm.
Are demons as cute and friendly as they appear? We find out.
Nice. New notification. Tom is live.
You better believe it.
I need to start my Audacity as well while I remember. Need to remember how to do that. Where do you choose where to record things to on Audacity? Do you know where to?
Oh, you do it at the end. You export at the end, and then you choose where it goes.
Ah, right. Okay, that's right then.
My channel, having so much fun.
Do I have enough disk space to do that though? That's probably why it stopped last time. Because it must be recording it to somewhere. Like the raw data must be going somewhere to the laptop before you export it.
I guess, Aaron, I don't ever get this technical with it. I just hit record and get ready to party.
Mm.
And then at the end, I just click export to MP3, and then it says, where would you like to save it? And I say, somewhere fun.
How much space do I have?
Don't know.
Let's have a look.
Do we need to start a fundraiser for get Aaron a hard drive?
Get Aaron a hard drive. 1.92 gig left. That should be all right.
Should
it's not
be.
gonna. Yeah,
Mine's usually about 2 meg or something.
Yeah. Nice. Sweet. Okay. Right, we'll have to see how it goes. If not, I'll have to bloody sit through the whole thing again and just press record on my OBS.
Don't you ruin it again for us, Aaron.
Well, I'm just going to do it on OBS, as I reckon, just because I know what's what there. Audacity is just...
It's so much better.
It's teasing me.
It's so much better. I don't know how you find it so difficult. Anyway, welcome to the viewers. Hello, everyone. We've lost everyone again now.
Yeah.
So you've put them off with your refusal to use Audacity?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because we're not even going on subjects yet. I'm just trying to figure out my settings. This is the good stuff. This is where the magic happens before the actual stream. I'm just gonna click record and see what happens. So I am recording now.
Cool.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Now. Yes. Thank you, viewers. We're here. We're having fun.
Having fun.
The real show will begin eventually.
Eventually. Right then.
Right. Let's start the timer.
Let's go.
I'll see you on the other side. I'll start recording in the middle of the timer because that's my other favourite trick.
Yeah, let's do that then.
I'll leave you a message in there.
Cool. Let's hit the button.
See
you in a minute. Hello and welcome back to the Past Turn podcast of myself and Francis and the longer mysterious man, Tom Durrant.
Hello again.
We aim to bring all the latest Magic the Gathering hype, spoiler discussions, and our very own and sometimes foolish opinions. Today we're going to be going through a giveaway, which was kindly gifted to us. So Tom, you can tell us about that in a moment, and as well as some other things like digital versus paper. And obviously, the MTG Arena app's been released now as well. So I've played it, and it's pretty good. But obviously, we can go into that as we go through. So what should we do first? Do you reckon? What do you want to do first?
Let's save the giveaway to the end.
Yeah.
Let's build up to it.
Yeah, so you're very much the opposite of me. If I have something in front of me, I have to open it. Whereas you're like, oh, let's savor the anticipation to the very end.
I've still got my Prime Slime unopened.
Yeah,
I still have about 10 booster packs unopened.
Wow.
I have many precons still there, existing form that have not been demolished.
Yeah, all mine demolished. Every single one of them. But bless him, like Calamax and Cathril, they're all the shells of them former selves are up on the wall. They're just hanging there. It's just like disassembled decks. Lord Windgrace is up there. All the big oversized cards just ripped out of the pack.
You've butchered them.
Butchered them, yeah. And yeah, it's probably a good sort of time to say that a lot of our sort of pack opening series and stuff that we always plan to do will just be released through the Twitter profile now, and we're going to be doing that and taking sort of note of that platform a little bit more, aren't we, going forward?
Yeah.
So
we've seen the value in it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, we will see the value. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's if you've seen the post on Instagram, it's a Zendikar Rising box topper, so they're nice full art fancy lands, so you can get some awesome stuff in there. So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, there it is. Oh, you haven't even opened the envelope yet.
Exactly, we've got the full shebang.
The full shebang. Wow, nice. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to, as well as a conversation around Arena and paper versus digital, all the pros and cons of both. But yeah, a bit of a winging it episode today, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Especially after us. Was it last week we didn't have one because there wasn't enough to talk about, and then this week there's still not enough to talk about.
Yeah,
so
I know.
We'll just have some fun.
So we need to revisit our theme episodes at some point as well.
Yeah, we do.
And yeah,
I've got a good one. I keep meaning to tell you about a good idea I've got, but
yeah,
I have not told you about it. So mystery. So yeah, we'll start with MTG Arena then, which came out on mobile. Was it last week? It was released on mobile. See, I think it was the 28th or something, near the end of the month.
28th, yeah. So it was towards the end of last week, Thursday, Friday. And I downloaded it straight away because I'm an avid player of. A lot of people will know the app called Forge, which is basically like a sort of program on your phone. You could get it on your phone, your PC, where you could sort of goldfish your deck against AI opponents, which I thought was quite good. But that's no longer support for that, unfortunately, anymore. So all the developers have now stopped that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the last set that was released on that sort of program was Ikoria, so they didn't really do anything else on there, which is a shame. But it's not paid or anything like that, so it's just their time probably just got taken up too much from trying to develop it with no sort of monetary value, I guess.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a hard thing when you're trying to do something. You're trying to create a free alternative to thing.
Yeah,
it's very hard to then get any sort of monetization from it, because if you start trying to charge for it, people go, "I can't just go to the real like arena sort of thing." And
yeah, no, exactly. Well, I've had a comment. Yo, bro, Aaron. Hope you're good, mate. Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Zaya, how would you pronounce his or her name there? Zaya. Z.
Yeah.
Zaya Alaska. Yeah, very, very good. Thank you
very much for the message.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, so Arena came out on mobile. Hasn't come out on Apple phones yet, though, has it? I don't think it doesn't have iOS.
All they've said is it's later this year.
Yeah,
it's Mo, by the way, that's chatting.
Oh, Mo, right? Yeah, I used to work with Mo a while back. Yeah, hello, mate. It's been a while. Yeah, I used to work with Mo in the warehouse until I left.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Mo. He's not a Magic the Gathering fan, but thanks for saying hello. Thanks for the support. Appreciate it. Yeah, so Magic Gathering Arena is not on Apple phones at the moment, which is a shame. Have you got an Apple phone? You haven't, have you?
No, I've just got a bad Android, so it doesn't run it.
Oh,
Only it runs on my wife's phone. And I was like, do you want to swap?
Oh, funny.
She wasn't keen.
Yeah, it's pretty good, actually. I mean, I've got a Samsung S20 Ultra, so it's a big thing with like 4 cameras on the back because you have to have the best stuff to try and record videos. And it's pretty seamless. It's pretty good. It's quite intuitive. But the only thing I thought I didn't like about it was this is the Magic Gathering Arena is the fact that you have to go through a huge tutorial even if you know the game really well. That's the only sort of downside is that you have to go through all this tutorial. But I guess it sort of helps with learning the interface because you have to sort of click and drag your targets. If you like play a spell on something, you have to click and drag it over to the card that you're targeting and what have you. So I guess it sort of helps you learn that aspect rather than if you're a seasoned player or commander player like me that just knows the interactions and what have you. I thought that was quite good.
I feel like there should almost be like sort of 2 streams to the tutorial. Like one, if you've never played Magic before, you don't know what it is, and it just goes through all the basics, like how you actually play and learn everything. Then there should be like a more streamlined version, which is you know fully well all the rules. It's just how do you understand the rules in this interface?
Yeah,
just sort of what goes where, and stuff. And then there should even be another option that just says I've actually used Arena before. I don't want to look at this.
Yeah. I mean, there's pros and cons to that because I mean, when I first picked it up, I was just like, yeah, I'll probably understand this interface easily enough for me to just skip this entire thing. But I think it did benefit me to go through that whole thing because it made you quicker as to understand where your interactions are and where your opportunities are to respond to a spell or respond to a card being played. I thought that was quite good. So yeah, I'm glad I stick through it. And now I'm in that phase where you have to unlock each of the theme decks. I think it is theme decks. You have to defeat Liliana with Ajani's deck or defeat Ajani, which I still haven't done yet with the mono black because I choose to play mono black and I just lost. It was life lost versus life gain basically, and I just couldn't do it. But it's good because it gives you little. My experience so far is limited, but I think it's good because it gives you insight because it's literally 1v1, which I never play apart from sealed events, which we don't do at the moment. It gives you a lot of opportunity to learn as to what cards trade with what other cards and what your best strategic play is because it's only you versus them.
Yeah, I definitely think that playing 1v1 can make you a much better player overall. I think, like I say, when you're just used to playing multiplayer, you think, oh, well, if I don't deal with it, someone else might, and it doesn't really matter. And you can just sort of feel like, oh, it's a bit more up to chance. But when you know you're in a setting where everything you do is the direct result of everything else, you just know I can just help you sort of focus on what threat assessments are and things. Yeah,
that's a definite benefit I've seen from it straight away. Even playing with the sort of garbage cards that you start with. And just like what was it? It's just rubbish cards like Sanitarium Skeleton's one of them, and it's a 2-mana 2/1, and it obviously reanimates itself to the battlefield, doesn't it, or something like that? And the game was saying, make sure you reanimate your skeleton so it can block next turn. And I was like, yes, I know, I missed that, and I lost because of it. So it's just little interactions, little intricacies like that, like comparing your board state to their board state. That's the one. Him. 1 drop. Brilliant. Return. Oh, it doesn't even return to battlefield. It returns to your hand. I was thinking of reassembling skeleton, which is used in a lot of aristocrat style stuff.
It's infinitely better, but still terrible.
But still terrible. But yeah, it does make you assess all of your cards and whether this card trades with their card, and again, it becomes much more of a strategic game. Is 1v1. But again, I'm still very limited with it. I mean, you've probably played it a lot longer than I have. Sorry, I got a frog on my phone.
Far too many hours.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I like Arena. It's pretty good. I was going to say, how did you find it on mobile? I know you haven't really played it too much on laptop, to know sort of the difference, but was it particularly laggy? Did you find like, I don't know, just, I haven't done it, but like, are the cards being small a problem? Is it easy to know what you've got and what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got your hand of cards. Obviously, if you hover over your hand, it pops up, doesn't it, a little bit?
Yeah.
So I think there's a system requirement. There is like the Wizards of the Coast do give you like your phone should have this requirement to be able to play. Luckily, my phone's quite a powerful one, so yeah, I didn't have any issues with it. And yeah, phones are absolutely massive these days. So if you can't see it when it's right in front of you, you have to get some glasses, like I have.
That's a good point. How big? I was trying to see how close I have to get my phone to my face to be the same size as my screen.
No, exactly.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Out there. So yeah.
So yeah,
just sat there like that. It's about the same, just down.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I think it's really, really good. I didn't get through it though on the mobile. Ultimately, it drove me to download it on the PC. So actually, I think it's a good entry point. It made someone like me, who's very much paper, a paperhead, loves Commander, doesn't really play anything else apart from sealed events just for fun. It made me finally download it and appreciate the interface and everything. And I think it does. It's a much better experience on PC because you can click around and yeah, it's just so much better. But yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. It's good little pushing over the edge point.
So did you say you're still sort of in the tutorial phase? You haven't managed to get into the ladder or onto any limited games or anything yet?
No, not yet. No, I'm still. Well, I think is that still the tutorial phase? Is it where you have to sort of battle for the Ajani decks and like the Demon of Loathing and stuff from Liliana? Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, once you do that, you can then just start battling other people on the ladder, join queues and stuff. One thing I will note is in the top right corner, there's a little toggle that says something like, it's not expert mode, but all play modes or something. And basically you want to tick that to being on, because if you don't do that, you don't see most of the options, especially sort of like limited options, like in draft and stuff. You only see like the real basic ones.
Yeah.
You don't get to see the best of 3 events either. So just a little top tip there for.
So it opens up all the options that you can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a really, really good implementation of the game, albeit it is limited to obviously standard and modern, isn't it?
Not even full modern yet. It's not even Pioneer. It's their own weird historic, which they've thrown some real random cards in. Like they could have said, "Oh, modern started whenever modern starts, like 8th set. Pioneer starts whenever that is, like somewhere after Khans, isn't it?"
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Return to Ravnica, I want to say.
Yeah, because the Cracklands weren't allowed, were they?
Yeah.
In Pioneer.
That was it. And then Pioneer's there. And then I just thought Historic would be on Arena, and it'd be the next one that's sort of another couple of years later. But for some reason, they started throwing in real random things, like old stuff, like from Modern. I think someone said that there's some cards on there that are pre-Modern that they've put on the system that are in Historic. So
wow,
Historic's just a really bizarre format that doesn't follow any sort of traditional paper rules. It's just whatever cards are there are there.
Yeah,
and it's essentially Legacy on Arena, because it's in that sense of every card that's ever been on Arena is in there.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so they sort of pick and choose what goes on there. There's no sort of like what am I trying to think of? So modern, everything before a certain point is not allowed to be in the deck.
No. Yeah, modern's got very clear points, like say like 2001, bang. Everything printed from 2001 onwards is allowed. Everything before that, not allowed. It's a very easy cut off. But no, they have, obviously it's every standard set gets added in, and then they do these remastered sets, which they've done for Amonkhet,
Kaladesh and that. Yeah.
Which put not all of the cards from Amonkhet and Kaladesh in, but basically all the playable ones, and then there's a few more to make it draft. But then in them, they also then included just some random extra cards that weren't from those sets that they thought people might like. Then they've also done these things called historic anthologies, and it's just like a collection of like sort of 15-ish cards that basically you can just go online onto the shop and just pay like, I don't know what it is, I think it's about £20, and you just buy it and you just get a play set of them, or you can use your wild cards to just start crafting them once they're live.
Yeah, I mean that's probably something I wouldn't like, is the fact that they sort of filter in cards that they think the players want, whereas you can't just go into the huge pool of Magic and choose. Oh, I'm going to choose this card for my deck. You can't do that. It has to be the ones that they've put on the platform.
Yeah.
So, is that a way of them sort of trying to manipulate what the players want to include and how the games go? It's that's the sort of issue I have with it. Is if I thought of a random card that would be playable in standard, or well, no, it's not, is it? Because I keep getting confused between standard and modern. So standard is the rotational thing that goes round, and modern is obviously the other side of it.
Yeah.
So arena is only standard.
Pretty much standard since Amonkhet, I think, basically is what it is now. But the past couple of years.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty cool though. I do like it, but I just need to get on that sort of wheel as such, because I'm so sort of rooted in Commander. But what do you think is going to happen to it? Do you reckon they'll expand it further? Do you reckon they'll add anything more to it going forward, or do you reckon it will just be used for like the current standard and obviously competitions and all that sort of stuff?
I'm in the camp that I think it will eventually become everything. Yeah. And I know most people don't think that will happen, but I don't know why. I just have a feeling that they are going to just slowly just migrate it all over and just say
just a lot of cards.
Dead.
Yeah.
Paper's dead. Arena's only.
Yeah, what happens then though? Because obviously MTGO's dead. Oh, what's going on there? Paper's dead. Oh no, what's happened there?
I know. I'm not saying I particularly want that to happen for sure. I don't really want paper to just suddenly be stopped, but I can definitely see there's some executives at Wizards, like above the team, that think we make all this money from Arena and we don't have to have all the problems with trying to ship it and print it, and like surely leaks would be easier to control. It's all internal then. If any leaks get out, you can just fire people. Take them.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can
easy.
Yeah, you can track the IP address of who's got it and all that sort of stuff. And there's no physical releases anymore. And
I mean, someone in a warehouse take a picture of a rare sheet.
No,
that you have no idea who that random person is.
No, you can't have me or Mo in the fucking warehouse just like taking pictures of products and releasing it on Reddit. Like, way. No. We weren't cool enough to get Magic products in, otherwise I would have been fired a long time ago. But yeah, so hypothetically speaking, then, if obviously paper was to just go down the drain, support was to stop for it, and then what would then follow suit? Would MTGO follow suit after that? Then, do you think? Or
I reckon
if paper died, MTGO would then stop.
Yeah, I think they'd kill MTGO before they kill paper.
Right.
Because Arena's like an easy direct replacement they could put in. Whereas paper, you'd get a lot more backlash.
No, I guess, they filter that out and then, filter paper out. But, that's not... That wouldn't be great, would it? I mean, what would happen to everyone's collections? Would just...
Everything comes on the reserve list. Price goes up.
We
all made of money.
Lovely.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm not clever enough to crash GameStop stock, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, that was an absolute farce, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't even get what's going on with that.
Oh, I do. Oh, it's brilliant. Right, so I think this is my understanding of it. Is the big hedge funds, what they do is when they see a stock is going down, I don't know how you do this legally, but they borrow stock from people. So I'm a hedge fund owner, you own stock in GameStop, and I say, I'll borrow that from you, and I don't know, then I sell it. So basically, I borrow it from you, I wait for the price to crash. I borrow it from you. I sell it for £10. I wait for the price to go down £25. I buy it back at £5. So I've made £5 there, and I give you £1. So I've made £4. You've made £1. Everyone's happy. So apparently hedge funds tried to do that. Somehow the general public found out that basically hedge funds were borrowing more stock and shares than were sort of around and available. So people realized if they just bought it all up, the people that have borrowed it can't actually sell it back. So then that's what made the price go up, because suddenly all these hedge funds had, like, I think it's like a legal thing. Like once it gets to a certain day, like if I've said to you, oh, I'll borrow it off you and I'll give it back, I guess there's a point where you just, the legally binding thing says, right, you have to give it back to me now. And they're like, shit, we bought this at like £10 and now it's 300 and we have to buy it back legally. So I think that's sort of what happened. My understanding, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I haven't seen a GameStop in ages. It's a retail store, isn't it? A GameStop.
Yeah, I think they completely shut out of they're just like American based now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Very, very strange. But it wasn't all the public buying it though. I swear it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like I say, people on Reddit. It's just normal. They call it, public traders, not private traders. And then all the private traders basically got upset that they were getting played at their own game.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for years, and they've been making the money. But as soon as other people realised that they could do it, and they've been hurt, because I don't know, they've been encouraging people to get into stocks for years, because they just know that they can do it better and they'll make money. Basically, every pound I put in, they know I'm going to lose, and they'll make eventually. So now
absolute pump and dump scheme.
The opposite.
Absolute chaos in this world right now.
I don't know how that relates to Arena. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think we went into an absolute sidetrack and tangent as we always do. I think the pros of Arena is just it's just really, really easy to use, nice interface, gets you into the game if you haven't played already. Obviously, it got me to download it finally, and I think it will make you a better player as you just grind, whether that's against AI or just other players that are around your sort of level. I guess because it's a ranked system, you play against people that are at the same stage as you.
Yeah,
is that right?
So you join a ladder, and it matches you as people as close to you as it can.
Yeah, so that's quite good. I reckon it will develop your strategic play. I mean, the cons for me would just be obviously the fact that there's only a couple of game styles that you can play and the sort of limited card pool.
Yeah.
But
there's enough to do.
There's enough
standard.
Yeah. No, it's definitely good fun. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves, and hopefully we don't see the death of MTGO or paper. There's a lot of fun to be had. A lot of fun to be had in that. If you've got loads of time.
Yeah.
If you're sat on the toilet, just get it out. That's what you can do now.
If you spend loads of time on the toilet,
you're loving life. Yeah.
My big problem with the economy on Arena, and you won't have sort of seen this yet without sort of getting into it, is obviously you open cards randomly from packs, but you've got no way of trading them with other people, and you've got no way of sort of cashing them in as you would as like with Dust in like Hearthstone and other games.
Mm-hmm.
So you just sort of build up your collection, and then you've got to play with the cards you open. And then obviously you get the wild cards, which you can redeem for any card of that rarity. So you get sometimes you open a pack, and instead of the rare, you get a rare wild card. So then you can effectively trade that in for any rare in any set. It doesn't have to be from that set, from any set anywhere.
Yeah.
And the problem is, though, I find that obviously the wild cards are your only commodity, and you don't really want to waste them. So I feel it hampers sort of jank decks a lot, because I love playing rubbish jank decks, as you know.
Yeah.
But when I've got only sort of 10 rare wild cards to spend, I think, is it really worth spending it on 10 rubbish jank rares that I'm never really going to win any games with? It's just to have some fun. Or do I spend it on the 10 best rares currently in standard that is going to let me build a half decent mono red deck and let me just punch holes through people on the ladder that then eventually just gets boring because all your games are just very linear. Obviously, some people love that side of things and amazing for them, but I just feel that because everyone's wild cards sort of have to be used optimally, I feel that people much rather stick to a well-known tested deck to do the best. They know that they can get good results with. So I feel there's a lot of. Sorry.
So how does that wild card work then? So you choose what mythic, rare, uncommon, then you get a random card of that rarity.
No, so like when you open a booster pack on there,
yeah,
like in where your rare slot normally is that you get the rare, instead you might just get a card that says rare wild card.
All right.
And then basically you when you go to craft your deck, you can just put a card in it says like, did you want to use one of your wild cards? And it will, it redeems your wild card. So you do get to choose exactly what card you want.
Right.
For it. So it's sort of the opposite of opening a booster. But the only way to get them is through boosters.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, like how you acquire cards and get cards on Arena is literally only through pack opening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas on MTGO or draft, or whereas on like MTGO or paper, you can just buy the cards you want to get.
Exactly. And so on Arena, all mythics have the exact same value. So I don't know. Let's say from the new set, Vorinclex is like a $40 card at the moment. And what's the cheapest? What's the cheapest mythic, do you reckon, from Kaldheim?
What, paper?
Yeah.
The cheapest mythic? I think I bought one. I bought that Traverse the Underworld, whatever it is. The one you have, the one you showed me. Underworld something. Yeah.
Oh, that's Kaladesh.
The one that brings back all creatures of a certain type or something.
Do you know what the Kaldheim 3 letters are?
KLD. KHM.
Yeah, KHM, that's it.
I thought it was KLD. Never mind.
KLD's Kaladesh. That's why I just
right.
by mistake. So yeah, Vorinclex is the most expensive. If you want to buy a deck with Vorinclex in, it's not loading for me, but he's going to be pricey.
Yeah.
The cheapest one is actually Battle Mammoth, which you could play in the same deck. So they're both green. So that's a top tip.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want your playset Vorinclex, at the moment they're just under $40, so that's going to be $160 to buy that deck. Or if you play a Battle Mammoth deck, they're only $4 each, so you can spend just $12. So in paper, you can save yourself $100 by just playing Jank. But on Arena, they cost the same effectively. They cost the same 4 wild cards. So why would you spend 4 wild cards getting Battle Mammoth that's not really winning you that much when you can spend 4 wild cards on Vorinclex and know that you're going to absolutely smash the life out of people?
Yeah.
So then I just feel you end up playing everyone's in the same boat there. So you end up playing only people that have got Vorinclex decks. You never play someone that's got a Battle Mammoth deck because who's going to waste their wild cards on getting Battle Mammoth? So I feel that sort of it leads. I think one of the problems that people say about bans is because you feel like you keep seeing the same stuff over and over and over again. And I think that's partly because of the way the Arena system works, is that I think some of these people are normally wouldn't be able to afford these decks. So they wouldn't play them. Like I wouldn't be able to afford a Vorinclex deck, so I wouldn't play that in the ladder in paper or on MTGO. But I can afford to do it in Arena. Does that make sense? Does that make it?
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just the cards are being made available for everyone, aren't they? And obviously that then contributes to non-diverse decks because people are working with whatever card is classed as being the best. Everyone can get their hands on it, and therefore all of the jank weird decks and creativity goes out the window with that because obviously everyone's just going for that chase rare that obviously is a chase rare because they're massively. You can identify a chase rare straight away nowadays, can't you? Or what is going to be ridiculously powerful in that certain standard fray, as it were.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people they're chasing those trump cards, those clutch cards, rather than sort of breeding a deck that could win you everything because no one else is doing it. It could just interact with the game in a way that everybody else is sort of missing out on because they're just going for that chase one. It's like if you I think you said it once. Is that if you see a trend going one way, you go the other sort of thing. You just try and do something against what's happening to see what results you can get because it's the most fun.
Yeah, sort of like and like then also that can play into your advantage. If everyone's used to only seeing Vorinclex decks and they know how to play against that, you turn up with a Battle Mammoth deck and they just think, I have no idea what you're doing, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I counter that? Do I kill that?
It's on the last podcast. You said extra planar lens. Everyone's going to be using snowlands now, so I'm going to run normal swamps rather than snow swamps because snow swamps are now ridiculously accessible again. So
exactly.
Yeah. So you sort of build your deck in a way that's going to be different to everybody else,
and it's normally worse. It doesn't often work out. You can tell that because I'm usually in the bronze and silver ranks on the arena. I get to gold sometimes. Depends how much time I put in.
That's what I mean. You probably make someone else's day as well. It's like, what is this guy playing? He's got skeleton archers in his deck. What is he doing?
Old skeleton tribal in standard.
Yeah, all sorts of nonsense. But yeah, that could be a bit of an issue. Something I didn't know about. I haven't got that far yet as to opening packs or sort of redeeming any sort of codes I've gotten from a physical event. I haven't sort of done that yet. I've given all my codes to you that I've done, and that's another thing you can't do on there as well. Is you can't get a pre-release code twice, can you? Because you've already been to it. You can't have someone else's.
No.
So that's good that they've sort of controlled that aspect of it already.
Yeah, it does stop people from abusing it in some way. Like there would be ways that people would just manage to rip through loads of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Or...
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's pretty decent. But yeah, it's just certain things like that. It's just does it limit creativity? I haven't got enough into it yet to sort of see those intricacies, but I intend to build just whatever free cards I get basically. From it.
That's it. But I think that's a good thing about Brawl. Obviously, you can play your one-offs. If you just pull one Vorinclex, that's cool. You can play a fun Brawl deck with Vorinclex in, whereas you don't have to then try and find another 3 copies to make a functionable standard deck.
Yeah. So Brawl is essentially Commander of 60 cards.
Yeah, only standard legal.
Standard legal.
So it's tiny Commander basically. Not tiny leaders. That's a different thing. And you can have Planeswalkers as your commander for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just...
any...
Yeah, as long as it's in standard. As long as
the
Planeswalker's in standard, you're allowed it.
Oh, so they took a dead format, Oathbreaker, and decided, let's stick a Planeswalker in as our commander. You can't have a signature spell, but you can have a Planeswalker.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think Wizards really want that to be the rule. But then the Commander Rules Committee don't want it to happen. So I think Wizards keep pushing it, keep trying to make things that obviously they keep printing commanders like in the precons that say like there are Planeswalkers that just says this can be your commander, and then the rules committee are like, well, we have to obey the rule. But
that's a weird one, isn't it? I didn't know that. I didn't know you could. Well, I mean, Brawl was very, very short lived in paper. I mean, everyone just plays commander instead. But maybe that is a way of them trying to sort of push the boat out for commanders to be planeswalkers to be commanders. Yeah, I didn't realize that
because they've got full control. They don't have to outsource it to Sheldon and co to sign off on this change. They just say this is a brand new format. It's loosely based on commander, so we can do what we want.
Yeah.
So Brawl's a bit broken.
Brawl's a bit broken.
Yeah. Usually there's at least 1 or 2 decks that are a bit just too crit. There's Kinnan from
Oh god, yeah.
He's just too good in Brawl.
Is he still in standard then, is he, Kinnan?
Yeah, so he's in standard. I'm not even sure if he's been banned in Brawl yet. I don't know whether that happened.
Yeah.
And the new bridge card from the Bridge God from
God of the Tree. Yeah.
People are saying that's. I've not played in Brawl yet. I've not come up against it since the But yeah, apparently a lot of people are saying that should be banned already in Brawl because it's just too good.
Yeah, well, it's especially if you're running all legendaries as well, like cheap legendaries from so loads of cheap legendaries in Kaldheim now. So they will all tap for mana of any color, and then you can just play it as its prismatic bridge and just pull permanents off the top of your library late game or mid games. It's 5 mana Wooburg. It's pretty strong. I can imagine that being very, very good.
And before that, it was Niv Mizzet, the 5-color Niv Mizzet.
Reborn,
he used to be the scourge of Brawl. But then I just find fun little characters that I want to build around, and I just do it.
That's what you have to do, though, isn't it? Yeah, well, that's where all the fun is. And that's that. I haven't played enough to understand it, but you can only play that a certain day, is it, or has they've changed that?
The Brawl is now forever. It used to only be a certain. It used to be like Brawl Wednesdays or something stupid.
Yeah.
But no, Brawl is free all the time now. I think even historic Brawl is free all the time as well now, which is. I don't understand why you want historic Brawl. Might as well go play Commander at that point.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Brawl rotates. I like the fact that it's only 60 card standard. I like that it's. You have to fill up a couple of your slots with bad cards almost.
Mm-hmm.
I like that element of it. That sort of this. I don't know, a bit more swingy. It feels a bit more like limited in a way. But yeah, as soon as you start getting into the historic one, you can easily fill 60 real good playable cards there, and it does make a good fun deck. It's like I just feel the problem is it's not as powerful as just playing like proper standard or historic because you don't have the consistency.
No.
So you've still got like that weird little bit of randomness, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think if you're going to go for that, you might as well just go for your fun, just standard Brawl. Just enjoy it.
No, that's pretty interesting. So last time I heard about it, before I was even had the program, was that you can only play it every Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what it was. But basically, people started just making Discord servers of just Brawl, just to find people to play Brawl with. So people were just doing that. Just they realized that no one was actually playing on a Wednesday. People were just finding these servers because I think you had to pay as well to play on the Wednesday.
No, right.
You had to pay like the in-currency gold. And people are like, why the hell would I want to pay all this gold to play a match? Like, it's just silly when I can just go on Discord and get it for free.
Yeah. What, and they're playing like Skype calls and stuff like that?
I don't think so. I think it was just because you can challenge a friend on Arena. So basically, it was some Discord server that let you just match up people that wanted to play, and then you just send each other the play link and then just play on Arena, and then that was it.
Oh, okay.
So it was basically its own ladder matchmaking system, just done all through Discord and stuff.
You can play friends on there, you say? Right then.
Yeah.
Now I'll get walloped probably. The amount of time you played it. I haven't even unlocked a demon yet.
I was gonna say, like, that's the one really annoying thing about Arena is just if you're not going to put money into it, the grind initially is just painful.
Yeah,
it's just annoying. You just don't seem to have any sort of decent cards or decks, and
no.
Luckily, there's loads of good sort of articles out there, so like sort of cheap deck upgrades. So it says like take this precon that you've unlocked, and then you can just sort of sub in like 4 or 5 cards and make it semi-playable. And then there's stuff about how to get like the cheapest version of like red deck wins or cheapest sort of mono blue tempo decks and things like that. Just real quick, cheap and easy decks that let you just grind to sort of build up your collection initially. But
then you can't add cards in that you like the look of because you can't get those cards apart from if you open them in a pack.
Exactly. You are a bit stuck at the beginning. But yeah, there's you can upgrade them a bit without too many things, and it's sort of quite easy to just upgrade to sort of a semi-playable level. And then get enough sort of wild cards to unlock it looking sensibly.
Yeah, well, my experience of it so far has been it's been pretty good. So I'm sure I'll when I get time, I'll put some more stuff into it.
Yeah,
I want to get that. I want to get that Demon of Loathing. That's my first goal. Just get that Demon of Loathing, the 7-drop that I'll never play in a proper game.
You will just put some walls in.
Yeah.
Or just use that as your top end in your Tybalt Trickery deck. Because apparently that needs to be banned in best of 1. Apparently that's already too good. People are saying. But
I saw like there's like a Tybalt's Trickery, a Cascade card, and Emrakul. And you can get Emrakul out on turn 3 like 83% of the time.
Yeah, that's in modern. That one.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the one we were speaking about with Rob, wasn't it? We spoke about
Tybalt's Trickery. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did order one before it got loads of hype, but I don't think the price has really changed much on it, to be honest.
Has it not?
No, I don't think so.
It does surprise me because there are some big believers out there. There's some people that genuinely believe that it can be good enough in modern and things like that.
Yeah.
And standard. So
that's another thing I can maybe go into in a second, is the cards that I've actually purchased that are going to come on the 5th of February, which is, Friday?
Yep.
And I've got a lovely the Japanese art Tybalt from War of the Spark.
Oh yeah.
I got that playmat coming. It looks awesome.
Oh, that does sound good.
Yeah, he looks quality in that piece of art. So yeah, I got a couple of cards come in, which you probably would have heard of on previous podcasts, whoever's listening. So you've got Axgard Armory, which was Pleasant Kenobi's card that he spoiled, which is the one that searches for an equipment for a Boros land. That searches for equipment. That's quite good. Forging the Tyrite Sword, which is one of my top 5 cards in the episode we did with Tabletop Republic.
Just checking, is this the Tybalt you're on about?
That's the art, yeah. So it's an ultra pro playmat, and it's like you get the full art in there, but that is the one, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, this looks awesome. Yeah, I love it. What else do we get? Coma, obviously. Varagoth, Bloodsky Sire. Karda, the Doom Scourge, which is the goading one. Burning Rune Demon, Toski.
Toski. Why did they feed you that contaminated flesh?
Oh, funny. I was thinking as well, when you look at the Insta-story episode's up, but whoever's listening to it, there was a part when Tom did the Tybalt voice, and I was thinking of leaving it in there and just be like, "That's my Tybalt voice, Aaron," and then just continue with the story. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah. It's annoying because I had a real good demon voice all planned out. I thought, there's going to be that Varagoth. I thought he's going to turn up and he's going to be
no speech.
Yeah, and I thought he'd be going to be angry, but no, he's just like, I'm going to fly away. Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, it's just like the way they describe Varagoth as well. They describe him like there's some hulking huge demon, but then on the card is a demon rogue.
Demon rogue, and how big is he? Like a 2-3 or something silly like that.
Yes, what is going on there? That is a fail. That is a fail and a half.
Yeah, 2-3 with death touch.
Yeah.
Whereas they describe him as being like twice the size as any other demon.
Yeah.
So you think I just feel there's been a real disconnect there. Like they designed this card which worked for either limited or standard or something. They designed this character for the story, and they were like, "We ain't got room for both. Just make it."
Yeah, but I reckon. Shoving it into the Dimir rogues as well, that's flying around at the moment, just because it's a rogue, and rogues are going to be the next best thing in the D&D set, which is again another reason why I bought the Anawan Zendikar decks, because it had loads of rogues in it. I feel there's going to be loads of good rogues, and there's been a great rogue here, and there will be more in the D&D set, obviously.
What was which ones were released this time? Which commanders was it? It was the Foretell one, the blue-white Foretell on the green-black elf.
Black elves, yeah.
Elves are the next big thing coming then, I reckon.
I
reckon that's what that little scoop's for.
Yeah. Well, what's going to happen to... I know Corset is don't even know what's going on with that. But Basri Ket was the new white planeswalker for core set ages ago, but we haven't seen anything of him yet. But I reckon they probably sow these stories far in advance, surely.
Yeah. And they do plan out really far, because apparently, when Eldraine was being made, they put the twins in Battle Bond, knowing that they were going to be the Eldraine, like the face of Eldraine.
Right, the Kenrith, William Rowan Kenrith.
That's it, the Kenrith twins. And same with Kaya. They knew that they wanted Kaya to be a main character, and they put her in a conspiracy set to get her into the story, like basically into the game earlier, so that people could sort of like, oh, we like this character a bit, and then when they become the real big main character, people are already excited to see them.
Oh, was that the Ghost Assassin, wasn't it? That card, I think, Conspiracy.
I think so. Yeah.
Ghost Assassin.
Yeah, the first version.
Yeah,
which I think is a good way, because people obviously get much more hype about it and excited because they know and recognize it, rather than say Tyvar this time round. Like, he sounds interesting, sounds cool and stuff, but I think if we'd already seen Tyvar somewhere, people would be much more excited to think, oh wow, here we get to see him properly in his world and what he's doing and stuff.
No, I think a lot of storytellers are sort of learning from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and just the fact that it's a big, massive universe, but each character can then show up earlier on and have their sort of story fleshed out before they take part in a War of the Sparks sort of event.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the stories, obviously, that you're telling now and stuff, and the people that are writing them are just getting it much better than it used to be a year or so ago. It definitely look like it's improving on that front.
Yeah. I've been really enjoying this story, actually.
Yeah, it's good fun. Really good fun. Be interesting to see what happens next, at least. Because you can listen to the story episodes that we've got, whoever's listening at the moment. But it's good stuff. Very, very good stuff. My favourite one was Tybalt's Saga, though. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Because that was literally just a story of what he was doing there.
Yeah.
But there wasn't that much speech in it. There was literally just a huge story of the characters that he met and what he did and everything, and I thought that was awesome.
Told from his perspective, almost, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah. So I like that one, and then this one is pretty cool as well. Like all the demons and stuff, and seeing that they're all marching through the portals to destroy everything and everyone.
Spoilers! That was only uploaded about an hour ago.
Yeah. But go and watch it from the start. It's pretty good, and obviously it will continue as well as we hop from plane to plane, from place to place. It will continue, so it's just going to be a huge, long, ongoing thing, and it's good fun. Good fun doing that. There hasn't really been much else really going on with regards to news, which is probably why we're just rambling right now.
If you play Magic properly, unlike us, there's probably a lot of news about sort of the new standard metagame shaking out, how to solve the latest limited and become master at that before your friends. But we don't, as we just said, we don't play like that. We just open stupid packs. We open. I've got one copy of Garruk still, and I have Garruk deck. That's what it's called. But there's
which Garruk?
The green black one, of course, the best one.
Oh, cursed one.
From Eldraine.
Oh yeah.
And I call it my Garruk deck, even though that he very rarely turns up. And when
I'm just looking at it now. That just typed in standard meta arena decks, right? So the first thing comes up is Gruul Adventure.
Yes. Or you can turn it into Kaldheim version and call it Naya. Because of the something of the Skulls, one of the sagas.
Showdown of Skulls.
Yeah, is apparently worth playing in that deck. So it's essentially a deck that was pre-Kaldheim, and they've just chucked one new card in it that's a new colour, and people are calling it a brand new deck. Because you have to live for something.
That's what I mean, though. It's just like, I'm going to play... today, I'm going to be playing Gruul Adventure. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this one card from Kaldheim and make a new deck when it's not really a new deck. It's exactly the same popular Gruul adventure stuff. Going down the list, you've got Dimir Rogues.
Same old. I bet that hasn't changed. Maybe
Same old.
Varagov sat in there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe Varagov's in there. And then third place, we've got Mono Green with Questing Beast at the forefront. So Questing Beast is still doing stuff apparently, according to this article.
Yeah, Questing Beast is annoying. I don't have any. I play lots of green decks, and I could really do with some, but I ain't buying them. I ain't giving in to peer pressure.
Yeah, it's interesting though, like seeing what's on there. So this mono green one, for instance, you've got Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig. Eldraine card, yeah. So we got 2 of those in there. We got 2 Scavenging Oozes, which is brilliant for graveyard hate, and then obviously it can grow as a result of exiling people's graveyards, which is great.
So much of that's in there to fight the rogues.
Probably, yeah.
The rogues are like trying to mill you out. It's like a mill sub plan.
Yeah, so you can just capitalize on your own stuff going in there. Exile target card from a graveyard. Yeah. So if it's a creature, you get a +1/+1 counter and gain a life. So that's quite good. Both for hosing someone else's grave and then utilizing the mill that you might be getting milled from somebody else. Vorinclex is in there, 3 of him, 3 Questing Beasts, 4 Gem Razors, which are quite good. It's a mutate card from Ikoria, which destroys artifacts and enchantments when you mutate onto it.
I love Gem Razor in standard. I don't even know what I often hit, but there seems to always be something to hit with it.
Yeah, he's really, really good. This is what might sort of make me play a little bit more, is the fact that you can have multiple cards, whereas Commander and Brawl you can't have more than one, which is a shame. Whereas if you like a certain card or a certain interaction, you can have 4 of those in there, so you know that your main strategy is going to abide by this 4 of that you've got in there. And another favorite of yours, there's 4 Old Growth Trolls in this deck.
That I'm burning my wild cards on. That is worth it to me.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You can take your Questing Beast and I'll take the troll.
Yeah, it's pretty good, especially in mono green. Yes, it's a pretty good pick. Then we got Vivian from Ikoria, Garruk Unleashed from Core 21, Castle Garenbrig. Yeah, some cards I obviously haven't seen really being played because I only play Commander. So it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see some other weird cards that I don't normally see normally.
Yeah, and like you were saying about having 4 ofs, this is something I miss a lot in when I do play Commander. It's like, when you build like your little engines in Commander.
Yeah,
it's like built up of like 5 different cards that all just have like crazy synergy. Well, in Standard, you can just use the same card and just have loads of them.
Yeah,
so you should have like 3 of the same engine card out, and it just pumps amazing value. Like Shark Typhoon. Just get 3 of them on the field, and then play an opt, and you have 3 1/1s. You think, come at me.
No, I guess, yeah. I mean, in Commander, your engine is fragile because you only have a 1 card off. So if you've built up an amazing engine that you've built yourself, or you found interaction that's not in the meta, for instance, you can have 4 of those engine building cards rather than just waiting for the 1 or the 1 piece or the combo piece or whatever. You can have 4 of. So if you find a sick interaction, you can normally get there for that. You can normally make a deck that is going to get that interaction every time, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is again a massive pro to that sort of game, and games go quicker because you're just smashing your opponent's face 1v1. So yeah, I mean, it could be quite good to analyze that sort of space more often.
Have a little weekly standard section going forward.
yeah. Who knows? I just had a notification from my computer saying you are running low on disk space. Ah, shit.
Is it because you're not using Audacity? Are you doing it?
No, I am using Audacity. Yeah.
Oh well, I can't help you there then.
So I think we should be all right. I mean, it's only a short episode today anyway. I mean, we're running. My Audacity is still running at sort of 56 minutes right now. So I mean, unless there's anything else to sort of bring up. I mean, as you say, we're not really prepared this week. I mean, there's probably is some sort of stuff going on, like as you say, combating metas and all that sort of stuff. But
the new dragon, was it the Rob said about the dragon? Who was it, or Tom? Who said about the dragon? Someone said about a dragon.
Tom wants to use it.
The red dragon,
Goldspan.
Yeah, that is apparently taken off in standard big time. Apparently, in like there's some blue-red spellslinger one, and you sort of like pump it up, and then with it, obviously you'll get like you can cast lots of pumps, just one off and after each other, and it just generates you more mana just to keep pumping it up. It's sort of like a weird Voltron spellslinger style, which that sounded quite interesting to me. Sounds like it's already massive though. Everyone's already playing it, but that sounds like the sort of thing that if it was on the fringes would really be tickling my excitement.
Yeah, that's what makes treasures double treasures or something, isn't it?
Yeah. I think whenever it is targeted, whether it's you or someone else, and whenever it attacks, I think it is, you make a treasure, then your treasures generate 2 mana instead of 1. So basically, if you use a 1 mana spell on it, you get a treasure that then goes for 2, so you've net yourself 1 mana. Effectively, casting a 1 mana pump spell on it is a soul ring, some would say, in standard.
Yeah.
Repeatable.
No, it's pretty good.
So I definitely slept 100% on the fact that it says target it yourself, and did not expect that.
Yeah, I can look at the price now of it, and it's pretty high on all fronts. Whether that's MTGO or paper, Goldspan Dragon, for flying haste. Whenever it attacks or becomes a target of a spell, create a treasure, and then treasures you control can tap to sacrifice to add 2 mana of any one color rather than 1.
Yeah.
He comes out, attacks, gets you a treasure, then treasure can tap for add 2. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty decent. And then you could use like eggy pump spells on it and just make it like a 7/7 flying haste, which comes out, becomes a target of a spell. You get a treasure. When it attacks, you get a treasure. Then you got 4 mana. Then you can just do something else after that.
Exactly.
So yeah, I can see it
and
being
it's not
an
legendary, is it? It's not legendary.
No,
not legendary. So you can have millions of them across the field. Well, nearly up to 4 on the field if you wish.
Just an absolute beat stick.
So yeah, that sounds like a fun deck. The green deck, that's got me excited. I like that.
Yeah.
There's been like the mono green deck floating around probably since Eldraine. And yeah, that's just adding a few more little tools to it.
Yeah, I mean, mono green. Yeah, it's going to be floating around for ages with that questing beast. He's so good.
Yeah, all of Eldraine's good in standard. Very good.
Yeah.
All the standard decks are basically built around Eldraine, apart from Rogues, I think. But yeah, the rest basically have a solid package of like your best cards being Eldraine.
Yeah.
So there's some people calling to bring back the 6 monthly rotation. You know, they tried it for a little while around Ixalan's sort of time.
What does that do?
So in standard, obviously it rotates once a year in autumn.
Yeah.
And when they brought out, it's when they changed from the 3 set blocks, you know, when they changed down to the 2 set blocks, which was around the Ixalan time. They then started rotating every 6 months, but after each block. So you'd rotate once in spring and once in autumn. And it'd just basically shake standard up a bit more, a bit quicker. So stuff wouldn't... The idea was that stuff stayed in there overall longer. Like everything stayed in there for approximately 2 years. But the fact that it kept shaking up just meant that like different things were meant to happen. But I feel like they didn't give it long enough chance. I think they only did it for like 2 years. Which I guess is a while, but it doesn't, in terms of how, like normally that would only be like 2 rotations. Like, I just don't feel that's a very high number to test.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't just run it for like 6-7 years and then be like, yeah, that was a terrible mistake. We've absolutely destroyed the game.
Yeah, it's hitting the sweet spot as like standard. I can imagine it being quite good in the sense that you do have a limited pool. And you have to build with. That's why we love Commander so much, is because you have to build within your color identity. But with standard, you have to build within a certain amount of time from the sets that have been released.
Yeah.
But once all the cards in that in those sets have been exploited, and we all know what's good and what's bad, all the decks will become the same. Surely there won't be much. There won't be much creativity. So, would it be good to maybe have standard rotate or have standard rotate longer wait time or a shorter wait time? What do you think would be more beneficial?
I personally think shorter.
Shorter, yeah.
Like I personally think. Like I would even personally be happy if it was like always exactly say like 6 sets, and say like as soon as Strixhaven comes out, rotate out the oldest set. So you add one in, take one out, add one in, take one out. That's what I'd personally like to see. Yeah. I have no idea whether that's good or bad for tournament play or anything of sense. Just for me personally, I just think I'd like it, but.
It would be funny though, wouldn't it? There'll be like weird crossovers, like Strixhaven with, what was 6 sets ago now?
Hopefully Eldraine, and that'll rotate out.
Probably, yeah. But there'll just be some chaos, pure chaos, like sets crossing over and all this weird stuff, rather than. Dropped my thing on the phone. Yeah, I reckon it'd just be pure chaos if it was just like one in, one out, no actual order. Yeah, I'd enjoy that as well, I think.
But I do understand that. Like, obviously, the way it works now is like you obviously get. So it starts now that you have like. When it first rotates, there's only 5 sets, so it's quite a small one. And then over the next year, it slowly builds up, and the pool just gets bigger until you get to 8, and then it cuts back down to 5 again. So this idea is like sort of those core decks can stay there and just slowly get extra sort of tools to make them better. And then the idea is also that the new stuff coming in might also build new decks to play with. But I just feel that sometimes you can. It's especially if like one of these early decks just stays the best throughout, which in Eldraine it has done, like with Mono Red and Stomp and the Bone Crusher Giant. It's just too good, and it just feels like you're just constantly seeing that with no changes, no matter what happens.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's just like Dimir Rogues, Gruul Adventures, Mono Green, whatever. When one of those decks falls out because there's no support for it anymore, the deck that comes in to replace it, then that deck is the new deck that you have to get. It's just like there's probably the meta is about 12, 15 different decks that are taking up the meta, and you have to play one of those decks in order to sort of compete, in which I think is sort of force feeding it. You can make your janky decks, but you probably won't get anywhere with it. Which I think is a con of standard, in the sense where the decks that you need to play to win are the ones that are the highest percentage in the meta ladder.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that creativity because you are using the only cards that are made available to you through Wizards because of the rotation. That's another thing that sort of puts me off it, but I will still play it because I've got the app now and it's pretty good. But that's the only thing that sort of puts me off, is that I'll probably be pigeonholed into doing a certain strategy to be able to compete properly.
Yeah, but I don't know. The problem is though, I don't really play Magic to win. I don't really care. I'm happy to just bumble around.
Yeah.
If I just do it in every 1 in 4 games, my deck works. I'm just thinking, wow, it was fun while it lasted. It's just funny.
Exactly.
Every now and then you do just get thinking, I just want to stop. I just want to smash, and you just pick up your mono red deck.
Yeah, if you're playing it for those reasons, then yeah, that's good. But I mean, if you're playing it for competitive reasons, it's pigeonholing you into a certain strategy, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
But that happens with any sort of game. I imagine it's like Call of Duty, for instance, or something like that. You want this gun, or you want this character because he's the best at doing this, or all those things are sort of locked behind a paywall, unfortunately now.
Yeah, it's no different than it's always been in Magic though. There's always been sort of just 3, arguably the 3 best decks in any meta.
Yeah. That
sort of rock, paper, scissors off each other, and it's always just you play them to get to the top. It's just
yeah. But then it's just like if you say play Gruul Adventures, there's going to be how many other players playing Gruul Adventures to try and get to the top of the Grand Prix or whatever it is, the tournaments that they hold. there's going to be thousands of players playing Gruul Adventures to try and get to that level. So how do you differentiate yourself from all of the other players? Is that just luck, or is that based on like sideboard cards or one-offs that you put in there to help your strategy? Because if there's thousands of other players meta decking the best cards, how do you rise to the sort of cream of the crop to get to the top sort of thing? How do you do that?
I don't know. Just play better.
How do you do that?
I think it is. I think there's a bit of sideboarding. I think, well, not a bit, a lot of sideboarding. I think if you know how to sideboard the best and really understand why you sideboard, a lot of people just learn how to sideboard.
Yeah.
They just know, oh, against this matchup, I take out these cards, put these cards in. Fine. But it's when I find the best players are the ones that really know why they're doing it, sort of thing. They really, and not just why, but like really do understand it. You see some of the best players, they don't take the normal sideboard advice that even they've said, like, against this deck, take this out, put that in. Sometimes they'll do something different. And for some reason, I don't know what it is. They just know that that's not the right call to make there and then. They're not just going to blindly follow that advice.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of that. And obviously skill. Just know, like, if you just know how to play to your outs perfectly and save your cards for their optimum use. I was like, if you just sit there and burn through all of your removal on the first threats they play, well, yeah, you've done really well in the early game. But then when they start playing their big threats, obviously then you lose.
Yeah.
So that's just like a real basic example. But it's just the best players just manage to find just tiny little increments of advantage throughout the game.
Well, it's just like when you compare Magic to probably the most popular card game ever, which is poker, which is played competitively. They use the same card pool, which is 60 odd cards, isn't it? Everyone gets access to those cards, but you then have to use those cards to your advantage and use your body language and picking up on other people's signs and all that sort of stuff. And you do have to use. There's a huge element of skill to that, and you're only using those certain cards that you got access to. So everyone's on the same sort of level, and that's in that sense as well.
Yeah, that's something actually one of my friends really hates about Arena, is that there's no you can't pick up on someone's body language.
No,
because he's like, yeah, he says like he thinks he can do it really well. He can just understand it, and so you can give your own body language off. You can do things that just annoy your
bluffing
opponent,
almost
just silly bluffs, just things.
Yeah.
There's an element of bluffing on Arena. You can sort of pretend to hold a card, like you can go into control mode and pretend you've got to play when you don't, or you can skip the turn and pretend you don't have anything left to play when really you do. There's a few things like that, but there's not the same sort of bluffs as you can make in real life. It's not.
No. And obviously, the transition now is obviously Arena's massive online, and obviously people are playing tournaments now is online. So you don't even get the face to face online anymore. It's two screens adjacent to each other, isn't it? Yeah. So you can't even pick up on that either.
But there is also less cheating. There's no way you can cheat on Arena. I don't think anyway. Not like in a proper like 1v1 game. You might be able to game the system somehow. But like drawing a game, there's no way I can know what's on the top card of my deck in Arena. Whereas in paper, there are ways, and people have marked cards and things so that they know what they've got coming up.
Yeah, yeah. There's no way of doing that digitally, which is definitely another pro to the whole process. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing it when I can. And seeing what comes from it.
So I'll have to add you on there.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all done with your Wizards account, isn't it? So you should be able to find each other fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's nice and easy.
Yeah. That's pretty much
the main event.
Yeah, the main event. Yeah, I reckon we should do it. Yeah, it's all down to you.
So this is from Mtgdeckbuilders. He ran a competition on Twitter. So yeah, you can find Mtgdeckbuilders on Twitter and Facebook, and he also has a shop on eBay and Card Market where he sells boosters. He also sells like Chaos Draft packs, which I'm interested in, Graham. You've piqued my interest. But yeah, just packs of like sort of, I think 24 sort of like not 100% random, but sort of assorted boosters. So yeah, the one I'm looking at right now on eBay is £85 for a Chaos Draft set, 24 new boosters. Yeah, it ranges from, there's some mystery boosters in there, Ixalan, Zendikar.
Nice.
I'm not sure if that picture is exactly what you get, or whether or not it's just sort of indicative. But yeah, £85 for, like I said, that's the price of a box. So it's the same as buying a box that you draft with friends, but getting the fun and stupidness of Chaos. So
yeah, I think Josh got one off of eBay once. And again, it wasn't this particular fella, but it's good fun. The booster packs that you got came in like little brown paper bags. So it's like
repacks,
repacks, all repack stuff. So it was hilarious. And we got a Rise of the Dark Realms, which is like a 20 quid card. So people are generous at doing these things, and they generally just build it for the experience. And obviously, you can still get that sort of cracker pack feeling from it. So it's
and I guess fun. Obviously, I assume that when they're doing it overall, they know they're going to make, when they do the repacks, they know they're selling £100 worth of cards for £120 or whatever it is. They're making £20 profit on it. But to you, like occasionally, you as the buyer, you might get lucky that one of your packs is the ones that's worth loads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they probably tally it all up and then put some awesome stuff in someone's draft that you just don't expect.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh wow, this is really good. Yeah.
So I'm actually just realised that there's tape on this that I can't get in, so I might have to run and get a knife.
Yeah. Whatever it takes.
So I really just don't want to rip it clean open.
Yeah.
There we go, I've managed to get in. So here we are. There it is, folks. Zendikar Rising Expedition Box Topper.
So you got these when you bought a booster box of Zendikar Rising, right?
I have no idea how you got these, Aaron.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you get a booster box of Zendikar Rising, you get one of these on your on top of your booster. I think on the top of your booster box.
This is just peeling it off because it's been very well packaged by Graham. Thank you very much. So it's not suffered any bendage in the post.
Nice.
So I now have just the booster. What do you think is going to be in there, Aaron?
I've been thinking about Manlands all day.
Oh, I think there's two in there, isn't there? I think two of the Manlands.
I think there's quite a few in there.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. But I got a strong feeling it could be one of those.
There's the back of the card, if that tells you anything. Confirms it is a real Magic card.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for Cavern of Souls. I don't really know why. I just saw it on the list. I got excited.
Yeah.
It's stuck in the pack, Aaron. This is why
one singular card.
It's harder to open a pack with only one card. Right, can you see that, folks? Here it comes.
Yeah.
Look, can you see the frame?
Yeah.
Can you actually see what it is or not?
No.
What is that? The green-white one. It is Bountiful Promenade. Bountiful Promenade enters the battlefield tapped unless you have two or more opponents. So it is the green-white Battle Bond card.
Nice.
So perfect for us Commander players.
Yeah,
so thank you very much, Graham.
Yeah, cheers, Graham.
That will be in one of our decks.
Mtgdeckbuilders. Yeah, definitely. It won't be one of mine because I don't have any green or white. So you can make one with that then.
Yeah, I'll say I've been planning for the past about 10 years now.
Karametra, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, what's his name? Kamal and Akroma from the Commander Legends set.
Of course you have.
So this is the perfect. So thank you very much, Graham.
That's
It'll
brilliant.
Go in there.
Awesome. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Akroma and Kamal.
Yes. So they can sit in there.
Brilliant. Yeah. So they came as part of the so the Battle Bond land. So you also had like luxury suite, spectator seating, all the ones that will come into play untapped when you play a Commander game. So
yeah. So any play a game.
Unless you draw it really, really late game and you've already eliminated all of your opponents, which I highly doubt. But awesome cards to have, definitely. So yeah, that was awesome. So I imagine Graham's doing more giveaways as well. So make sure you go and check out his Twitter.
Yeah, give him a like, give him a follow. Find his Facebook page. That's his Mtgdeckbuilders everywhere.
Yeah. And just while we're on the subject of Twitter as well, I mentioned it at the start, but if you keep an eye on our Twitter page, we're going to be releasing just little snippets of like pack openings like we've just done now. Just a little bit like that. Nothing too fancy. Obviously, go to the YouTube channel for that, but it might be a good time to drop in our link tree. Do you have our link tree there at all?
Not a chance, Aaron.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
Let me just grab it for you then. Or you can grab it. Depends who's quicker. Who's quicker?
You try.
You're still shivering over that card.
I know.
Perfect fit for that deck. I completely forgot you was going to do that as well, actually, to be fair. Because you got them both for Christmas, didn't you? Those two?
I bought one off of Troy before
Christmas.
And got Kamal for Christmas. And another Commander Legends booster, which isn't open. So look out on Twitter. It's going to be open.
It's going to be a Jeweled Lotus.
It's going to be probably Kamal. And
that's what I mean. I bought one from Mystic Games. I got a couple of packs from Mystic Games when we went down there. I think this is before lockdown 2 or 3 in the summer when we were still doing past turn versus episodes. And I got one then. No, it wasn't. No, it couldn't have been. When was it released? When was Command Legends released?
That was only in the autumn, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's definitely before everything went to shit again, basically. But I got one in. I got a Kamal in there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Tom will love this." Yeah. But then by the time I could give it to you, you already bought one.
Yes. So it came out. In November is when it came out.
November must have been right on the cusp then of lockdown 2. So yeah, I just got those games in when we could. But yeah. Oh, that'd be an awesome deck because they're both really, really good. Quite high costed, but we'll see. Great land for that though. I still haven't got the link tree. Sorry, I'm just talking garbage.
I've got it. I don't really know how to use it though, Aaron. I'm not going to lie.
How do I put it? Do I put it in the messenger private chat?
My link tree. There it is. I've just got it there. We've both got it at the exact same time. You've got it for me as well.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat. There we are. That's in there.
That's in there, and obviously it'll be in the description box below as well. The link tree will have our YouTube channel on there, so all of our produced content will be on there. Then we've got a 2% off discount code at Level Up Gaming, which is a store that partaked in Past Turn versus episode 3. That was in Bournemouth, Charminster. You get 2% discount code if you use the Pass the Turn. Just Pass the Turn as your discount code. You've got merchandise now where you can get a I Love Magic t-shirt. So when we can all go back out again, you can actually advertise to the world that you play Magic, which is good for just instantly making friends when you're out on conventions and that. Just a shirt that says I play Magic. So yeah, that's a good one. And obviously got our logos on the t-shirt as well. Instagram, the podcast, and the Twitter. So obviously Twitter again was something we want to probably plug more now because we're going to be putting stuff out on there. And it should be a good place for you to go and check us out. So yeah, use the link tree. It's always a good thing.
Yeah, got a few more things to add on there, but yeah, that'll have all our homes,
all of our stuff, all of our platforms on there. Yeah, there'll be more to add as time goes on, but they're the main ones for now. Recently released a game that was that's been backed up for ages. When Mystic Games actually came round here and filmed in this room where I'm doing the podcast now. Commander game, so you can go and watch that now. It's produced as if it was just a normal Commander game. On us, we've got like little bits at the start of each person saying what their commander is and all sat around the table sort of thing. So memories of a previous life, which hopefully we'll get back to. Just thought I'd release it now just because it's extra stuff. So go and check that out if you're a fan of EDH gameplay content. Although there's a little bit of glare on the table because of the rubbish light that I had at the time. But yeah, just make sure you keep up to date with all that stuff. And obviously we got Into the Story as well, which has just been released. What else? Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think so. I'm just rambling. I've also, as well, if anyone's still listening at this point, probably not. But there's a new series called Tabletop Hype as well, which is a new series that I've started doing every Saturday. This is for Kickstarter projects that are on Kickstarter. So these are mainly tabletop games, like board games that are crowdfunded, and a lot of them are already hitting their targets or exceeding their targets. So if you make pledges, you will get that game in all of its glory. You've got all the stretch goals that you unlock along the way, along the campaign, and they're all very, very massively hyped games as well. So they will definitely follow through on their sort of promises, and the ones that I'm covering. So go and have a look at those if you're a fan of any tabletop stuff also. That's pretty much it, I think.
I think so.
So.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so thanks again, Graham, Mtgdeckbuilders. That was a fantastic pull from Zendikar Rising. Go and check out his page for more potential giveaways. All you have to do is, what did you have to do? Did you have to share the post or retweet it or something when you entered?
No, it was just being a follower.
Oh, was that it?
Being a happy follower. Yep. Just
brilliant.
being part of the crew, part of the team.
Hmm.
Just getting involved.
Nice. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what community is all about. Just supporting everyone's stuff, and good people like Graham want to give people cards. That's just absolutely amazing. Pillar of the community, as you said.
Yeah.
So that's going to help Tom's decks definitely. But that's what we've got time for tonight. It's been a bit of a short one in comparison to our other episodes that go on for like normally 5 hours long. But thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you next week, hopefully for maybe a theme episode if nothing's going on.
There'll be loads happening now.
Yeah, probably.
All right. See you next week.
See you later.